What's going on, everybody? It's Justin, and it is dyno time for my 2022 Toyota GR86. We're gonna take a look at the numbers. We're also gonna compare it to my 2017 Subaru BRZ, both in stock form and modified form. Stick around, we got some cool graphs coming up. Let's get started. We now have all of the baseline power numbers for my 2022 GR86. It came in pretty close to what I guesstimated, actually, and pretty much in line with what everybody is seeing that has dynoed their Subaru BRZ or GR86 so far with the new cars. If you guys remember, a little while back I actually published a video before any of these cars were released, actually, where I did a little bit of math and calculating based on what I had seen on my 2017 Subaru BRZ and even my 2013 FRS. But basically I was able to take real world data from my old car and calculate drivetrain loss, things like that, and apply it to what I thought was going to be the power numbers for the new cars. And I actually came pretty dang close. So we're gonna talk about that in a minute, but also get right to the baseline numbers for my 2022 GR86. Now, the dyno day that I did for the car was just a quick 3 pulls to get some baseline power numbers. We'll pull up the graphs, show you what we have got, and each of the 3 pulls were all pretty close to each other, which just shows the consistency in the engine and its power delivery. We were within 1 or 2 horsepower to the wheels and 1 less than 2 torque or foot-pounds of torque to the wheels. So very consistent throughout the 3 runs, no indications of heat soaking or situations like that. So we ended up with a maximum power rating of 206 horsepower at the wheels, a maximum torque rating of 166 foot-pounds of torque. So not bad for a car right off the factory floor, 206 horsepower, 166 foot-pounds of torque. In both areas, that is a big improvement over the previous generation cars that I have dynoed and that others have dynoed as well. For example, my 2017 Subaru BRZ, when it was bone stock, came in at 179 horsepower and 144 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels. So pretty big difference, 179 to 206, you got 27 more horsepower to the wheels. And from 144 to 166, we got 22 foot-pounds of torque to the wheels on the GR86. And if you guys have watched my most recent videos, you know that the butt dyno agrees with the numbers. The new car, it gets up and moves and it really pulls a lot harder once you get past that little torque dip area. And yes, I said the evil words, the torque dip area, because it still does exist. Looking at the graph again, if you look around, I don't know, 3,400 RPMs, we start having a slight decline in the torque delivery to about 4,400 RPMs, where it picks back up and finally flattens out again. So we do have the torque curve on the 2022 cars on the 2.4 liter engine. However, it's not nearly as significant or pronounced as it was on the old cars. On the old cars, it's like you just fell off a cliff. The line on the dyno just basically falls off and even peaks again before falling off a second time. So it's super obnoxious. And all of you that have driven these cars or experienced these cars in the past know that the torque dip sucked on the old cars. It was really bad. The new cars do have it. It's not nearly as bad. The big torque in the low end and the low RPM ranges of the car really kind of hide any of the torque dip. Now, if we compare this to my old 2017 Subaru BRZ with the Ace A350 header, the ECUtech tune from Counterspace Garage, and the other bolt-ons that I had, the difference wasn't quite as significant. obviously, as you can imagine, with a modified car versus a stock car, but the new car did still put quite a bit of power on my upgraded BRZ. And we're going to get a little extra nerdy here with the dyno graphs. I have my old 2017 BRZ dyno graph with the Ace header and the other bolt-ons when tuned up against my stock GR86 graph here. I was able to match up the RPMs down here on the bottom pretty closely with the power numbers on the right here. There is a little bit of discrepancy in the actual numbers, so it's not totally exact, but it gives us a good idea of where the dyno plots lie. And what I did was trace the graphs from my BRZ into these brighter colors, the brighter purple color for the horsepower and the brighter green color for the torque against the stock GR86 graph. And you can see how much closer the tuned and ace headered BRZ is compared to the stock GR86. But obviously we still have this area here, the area under the curve, where we're making a whole lot more power on the torque side as well as on the horsepower side. So pretty good gains all around, even compared to the modified BRZ with some of the best aftermarket bolt-ons that you can get in the Ace A350 header, and then of course the tuning by Counterspace Garage. And of course I did the same thing with the stock 2017 BRZ dyno graph, plotted that over my stock GR86 graph, and again tried to match up the RPMs along the bottom here and the power numbers on the right side by stretching out the graph and getting everything to match as close as I could. Again, keep in mind it's not perfect, so there is a little bit of a discrepancy in the numbers and the curves, but again gives you a pretty good idea of the difference between the dyno plots from the GR86 and the 2017 stock BRZ. We'll trace the lines out and get rid of the overlay so we can have a better visual of it. Again, the bright green line here is our torque curve from my stock 2017 BRZ. So this area is huge from a gains perspective. And then of course on the old car we had this second dip here in this area where we don't have that in the new car, the GR86. And same thing with the horsepower in this area down here. The new horsepower curve significantly higher and not quite as much of a dip as the old car had. So compared with the 2017 BRZ in stock form, obviously our GR86 is making a whole bunch more power, 27, 26-ish horsepower to the wheels, and a good 22 foot-pounds of torque as well compared stock to stock. So what does all of this mean? Well, it means we have a great starting platform, far better than the old car and the 2.0 liter engine, that should hopefully respond really well to upgrades when we start adding bolt-ons to the car and eventually get tuning for the car. As far as I know, there's no tuning available for the ECUs yet. They haven't been cracked. Hopefully that's coming soon, and the tuners can start getting their hands on them. I know people are itching to get their cars tuned, to get them modified, as am I, but for now we're gonna enjoy it as it is in stock form. So that's gonna do it for the video today, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. We've got some upgrades actually coming for it soon. I wanted to get the dyno done before I put the new exhaust system on the car. I have a couple other cosmetic mods we're gonna get to and some other things coming up real soon. So we're gonna keep progressing with the car and the car projects, and of course, bringing it all to you guys. So let me know if you have any thoughts, comments, or questions. Like always, leave them down below. I would love to hear from you. And stick around for those new videos coming up really soon. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button as well. Turn on your notifications if you want to see the new content as it comes out. And stay safe out there. I am checking out. We'll talk to you all next time.